Yo, no cap on God, this game is fire, and I don't care what nobody says, and I'm gonna keep pumping it up. So what I have here before you are some highlights of some gameplay, of some cool stuff that happened. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly. You know, I'm gonna keep it as popping as possible so that you could see what this game is really like so you can get a better feel for it. Because I'm gonna just keep pumping this game till it gets me or the game somewhere. So the daily active user count is very low. It's abysmal. Like we're talking 35 average players and a max of like 86 peak players in a day. And I mean, we got millions of quest units out there. How come people aren't playing this game? Now, don't get me wrong. I just got back into the game, so I could see how you could be away from it for so long and not even think about it. But you know, we're on the cutting edge of this technology, and I know it's not triple A titles. It's not coming up to the standards of your God of Wars and things like that. But at the same time, it's still an experience. All VR games are an experience, honestly. Like, if you've never tried VR, you really need to try it. Like, there's a reason why Mark Zuckerberg started putting all this money into it because he sees it's the future. It's just in its infancy right now, and a lot of people aren't really flocking towards it, especially with the high buy-in. And now with the new Quest 3 that just dropped, costing just as much as a PS5, I mean, it's kind of a hard decision, especially when the PS5 has an accessory that is a VR, even though it comes at another cost. You know you could just add it to your system, and a lot of people feel like that would be a easier option. But I can tell you, I mean, I'm not really just an advocate for the Quest, but I can tell you the Quest is not a bad option, especially if you want to go for the 2, because the 2 is still very viable. The 3 is just an updated version of the 2. Like, it's just like the iPhone life, like, you know, except there is a difference in terms of visual graphics and range of view. But we clearly need more people playing this game, because if we want VR to take off in a space where we can say that these are really good games and everyone's playing it, we got millions or at least thousands of active users. Because right now, 86 being the top amount of average users in a day is crazy. Like, it's crazy, and that's why I tend to run into the same people. And it's most likely that if you see this video, you're probably someone that's played the game, and you might have played with me before. Like, and that's just the reality of having a small circle. But you know, we appreciate the game. The people that do play it, we love it, and we're not very toxic as a community. I mean, sometimes people get a little hectic in the lobbies, but other than that, I mean, it's mostly just about trying to hone them skills and, you know, have a good time in what feels like a large playground for gun battle. Like, you know, the bright colors really help carry the game, especially for the limited like abilities of VR right now. So like, you know, you can have a grittier game. You have Pavlov, like, you know, it's a much grittier game. It looks a lot grittier, but you know, the unrealistic factor, it adds. I mean, that's why we play video games, and especially why we play VR, because we want to experience things almost physically that we could never experience. And yeah, like, an army game, of course you're gonna do that. Like, but you know, battle royale, I mean, Fortnite's no army game, and it's got millions of active users. And that's all I'm trying to do here is increase the user base. Like, if we don't get this user base up, we're never gonna get the updates and the crazy things that we're looking for. The game just went free. Like, I mean, it's been free since March, but it was a paid game from its conception till March of 2023, and it's been out for about 3 years now. So like, I paid for the game, and because I was like hoping to get an experience, but like, you know, ultimately, you know, the paywall was a lot for a lot of people. I mean, it was only like $30, but the paywall was a lot for a lot of people. So I could understand why we didn't have as many people playing the game. They just bought a $500 headset. You know, you got another $30 to spend now. Like, it was a lot to ask. Like, but that being said, now that it's free, we gotta get the user base up, because maybe there's a lot of people that don't know it's free. There's a lot of people that aren't even into shooters like that, and they just might think it's too much for them. But it's a really friendly, user friendly shooter. If you've never played it, you gotta try it. I'm not gonna hold your time and go on and on and on and say the same thing. So I'm just gonna leave it at this. Give Population 1 a try. If you're already playing Population 1 and you're watching this video, shout out the homie. Try to get him to give it a try, because it's not about this game. It's about the games like this in the future that we really want to play. This is just like the teaser for what could be. But if we don't give it no attention, then these things are never gonna get the attention it needs until it's really great, and the paywall is gonna be extreme, because it's gonna be for the elite. It's gonna be some $5,000 object that transports you into the game, but you're not gonna be ready for that because you didn't even try this stuff. Like, they're gonna be like, well, we're not even gonna sell it to the masses, because it's gonna be some exclusive rich people stuff, because y'all ain't want to play the game. Like, simple as that. Like, give it some time. Like, you just throw it in the rotation. Like, if you don't want to make it your everyday, like, all day game, just throw it in the rotation. Like, it was, all right. That's all I'm gonna say.